Mr. Chairman, I have the honor to deliver this statement on draft resolution A/79L6 entitled Necessity of Ending the Economic, Commercial, and Financial Embargo imposed by the United States of America against Cuba, on behalf of the member belonging to the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Mr. Chairman, the embargo against the Republic of Cuba remains in force after 6 decades, notwithstanding the adverse effects of these measures on the socio-economic well-being of the people of Cuba. The present state of affairs is also contrary to the spirit and letter of the past resolution adopted by our Assembly in support of an immediate end to the series of measures imposed on Cuba. On its part, the OIC group had always supported the collective demand of this unjust of this august assembly for an unequivocal and of the various types of embargo imposed on Cuba by the United States of America. On this occasion, we renew our support for an immediate lifting of the economic, commercial, and financial embargo on Cuba. It is rather inconceivable that despite the overwhelming message the Assembly has sent on the previous occasion and the strong arguments advanced for the lifting, the embargo has not ceased, but has remained even stronger than ever. Effectively, the embargo has not only affected Cuba's commercial sector and national economic activities, but had also had disastrous humanitarian consequences for the Cuban population. These policies have continued to hinder the ability of other countries to invest in and trade with Cuba because of the extraterritorial effects. We are especially worried by the extent to which the impacts of the embargo have increased exponentially following the unjust inclusion of Cuba in the list of countries that allegedly sponsor terrorism. Due to this measure, banking operations as well as financial operations have become extremely difficult for Cuba, which has also impeded Cuba's effort to insert itself in the global supply chain. We call for the removal of the Cuba from this list, which has adversely affected the level and quantum of its socio-economic cooperation with its traditional partners in the global south, particularly within the developing countries. Most unfortunately, the embargo has a notable impact on the national health system, which is reflected in the difficulties encountered by national industry in purchasing the materials needed to preserve food and other products. These restrictions have also reduced the level of international assistance from Cuba to other developing countries in the area of health and human capital development. Mr. President, as we join the clarion call for the end of embargo against Cuba, we are mindful of our unwavering commitment to international law and the Charter of the United Nations, including the principle of state sovereignty. Accordingly, we strive to uphold international humanitarian law as we work for the benefit of humankind and the well-being of our peoples. Most recently, our leaders have just expressed the commitment to the Pact for the Future, which is aimed at ensuring the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals and the central objective of multilateralism and inclusivity.